called Arcane Redirect, where you get a number of scores for this equal to your wisdom modifier
Hopefully this works.
that refill on a long rest. You can activate these as a reaction when someone targets you with a spell to bounce that spell to a creature within 10 feet of you.
Heck yeah, that's sick.
Alright,
I'm gonna play it.
Hey, he's in. Okay. No asked me about this because I was working on it and he was playing Elden Ring and we were in a chat. And he was like, "What are you working on?" I was like, "A subclass." And then I explained what it was, and he was like, "Hey, so quadruple multi-class core mesh?" And I was like, "No." He's in.
He can't play spellcasters.
Spellcasters. I was like, "Hey, no. We've seen one other guy do the whole quad multi-class. It doesn't work, but it doesn't work. Okay, it does. It's a bad play. I'm sorry. Okay.
Them's the rules.
Them's the rules.
You don't make them. You don't make the rules. You just have to live by them.
Reese, so I noticed, because I'm a boomer, I went on my class features, I went to my optional feature manager, and there's like additional wizard spells and cantrip formulas. Do I add those or not?
Nah, you don't need them.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
Not where we're going.
Not where we're going. Let me be clear, bud. You aren't gonna need it.
Whoa, incredible! All right, I'm hoping that puts us where we need to be.
Do I? Hold on. I'm about to just real quickly before I actually get started. I'm gonna do something stupid. I just want you guys to follow along. All right?
All right, sounds good.
Sorry, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Do I still have this? Maybe not. We're about to find out. If I do, I'm going to do something funny. But if not, I'm not going to worry about it.
I'm drinking this root beer right now, and it goes crazy.
Does it have Basil Hayden in it?
It does not. I'm drinking the root beer and sipping the Basil Hayden.
Incredible. He's chasing the Basil chasing the root beer with Hayden. Who's to say?
I'm an enigma.
He's an enigma, trapped inside of a dream, wrapped up in a mystery. All right. I don't have it anymore. I have to download it later, but I was gonna open my Logi capture and then put the city map as my background, but then I was like, I'd have to download Logi capture, and I'm just not gonna do that right now.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth the time.
We'll run it back next session.
And I'll just keep changing out maps behind me.
Sorry, guys, we don't need Tailspire anymore.
And then what I'll do is I'll just talk to you like a geography professor, and if you'll look here, okay, this is the main point of egress in the current continent. Okay. All right. All of that being said, it feels weird not to have Owlbear open. I'm gonna be real with you. It feels like I'm not clicking something I'm supposed to be clicking.
I'm the same way. I'm like, okay, something is missing.
Yeah. I'm almost like, hold on. Stand by. Wrong button. Right button, maybe. Is right button. I've made the correct decision.
Who up right and they button?
Who up right and they button?
If y'all can't tell, I do that a lot lately.
Boom. It's up. Okay.
It's up.
Wow.
All right.
This is Albert's house.
This is actually the university, but I love that.
That makes sense.
Okay. All right. All right. Coleman is gone. I'll wait for him to sit back down, and then I've got a thing.
I'm ready.
And
Are we starting, or is this an extra bonus thing?
No. This is a start of thing.
Ooh.
I wrote a city monologue.
I'm hyped. Let's do
Okay.
this.
That's how you know we're so back.
That's how you know
We're
we're
back.
so bad. When Reese starts writing monologues, that's how you know.
We're so back, dude.
Dude, Reese, while we're waiting for Coleman to come back, I've been building a website for I think I told you about for those
Yes.
knives.
Yeah.
And look, my boss gifted me a knife today
That's sick.
for my work. It has been my
Is
payment.
that
Check
a
this out.
spring activated?
Yes, are you ready?
Yes. That's so. Oh, the click is actually therapeutic.
The click is nice.
The click is actually so nice.
It is insanely sharp and kind of scary.
There's a knife that if I had stupid money, that I could just throw around, I would buy it. It's called the Paragon Warlock.
Whoa.
This is a pocket knife that's completely sealed all the way around. Okay, and then you click a button and the whole case opens and the knife slings out and then it locks back down. It's the coolest pocket knife I've ever seen. It's also way too much money for what it is. Okay, it's a
I'm
pocket
doing
knife.
a quick Google.
It's a pocket knife.
I did the same thing. It looks pretty sick.
Okay. Did it show a little video on how the thing opens? Because it's wild.
I'm watching
Okay.
the video right now.
I'm going to the videos tab right
it
now.
literally looks like a scabbard. Like it looks like a Oh, okay. It super cool. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Super cool. But the guy in the video I watched super whiffed the first opening of it. It was
Yeah.
very tragic.
That's tough. It is not practical by any means. Okay. Doesn't make any sense for it to open that way. All right.
It looks like it would be super balanced.
That's sick.
You could throw it. That was pretty sick, nasty. That first video is the one I watched.
I watched the one by Blade HQ Shorts.
Ah, classic.
The way that the blade swings out, impractical. Doesn't make any sense for it to do it that way, but it's cool. Like,
pretty sick.
Amen.
Oh, he's back, and he's wearing a Dungeons and Dragons T-shirt. I didn't notice that before.
Whoa.
I didn't notice it before, but I noticed it now, and I respect.
Pretty sick.
Okay, I
Who up
respect.
dragoning they dungeon?
Who's
Me.
dragging in the dungeon? Okay.
Who up dungeoning they dragon?
Whoa.
All right. Cole, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
All right. Opening monologue time. Dalfroma. Nestled on the shores of Lake Voon, this merchant city hums with life as tradesmen and guildfolk work their crafts from dawn till dusk. Drunken harmonies fill the midday air as drinkers rouse in the local taverns. Whistling winds stir up dusty streets as young apprentice wizards zoom by on flying brooms, quickly making their way to the campus of the Ogbanzor University. The mid-spring sun reflects brightly off the water as long ships and fishing barges dot the surface of the massive freshwater lake. Many ships pass in and out of the mouth of the Kindlewiler River, heading from the lake's fresh, cool water to the salted waves of the Quindrellan Sea on their shipping voyages. In a city with such immense trade and export, there are only three truths known to its natives. Hard work is good work is better, and gold rules supreme. All right. Now that I've laid that down, now that I've opened that up, we're going to cut very rapidly to the Ogbanzor University, specifically the evocation level, where we last left off Rudy, Aldovan, and Langham. All right. All present as a spell to restore Rudy's memory was cast by the head of the evocation school at the university, one Gult Whitefrill. All right. A lizard folk with, surprisingly enough, a white frill on his head. All right. As the spell is cast, Alwyn,
Yes, sir.
could you roll me a dexterity saving throw?
God, starting off strong.
Yikes.
That is a 9.
A 9? You completely whiff trying to catch Rudy, who passes out and smacks into the ground. Okay, you reach out too late. He just heavy metal body just bonk into the floor. All right.
I'm gonna look around. He's a robot. It's fine, guys.
You see the students all kind of look around because he just makes a really loud bang when he hits the ground. You also, I think you and Langham, because you're next to him when he hits the ground, you guys hear something knocking around like a loose ball in there that shouldn't be.
Pants.
All right. After he hits the ground, there's a solid probably 30 seconds of something still bouncing around that shouldn't be. All right. And then which one of you would like to roll the medicine check for me? Or I'll actually will allow, because he's a robot, I will also allow Arcana. Or Tinker's
the Arcana check. I got advantage on Arcana checks.
Could I like give him a scalpel and perform the help action?
Absolutely. Absolutely, you can.
That'll be absolutely incredible. All right, you ready? I'm gonna roll. I'll roll on D&D Beyond.
Okay.
Scalpel.
I got a little advantage. That's my first roll. Wow, it is rolling in slow motion.
You be doing that sometimes.
All right, first roll was a
25. That's hey, you don't even have to roll the other one.
Roll.
You don't even have to roll the other one.
Okay.
To be clear. You roll it, you get with a +8, a 25 on the score. Rudy is not dead. However, whatever that spell just did to him, his systems have shut off in a sort of like maintenance hibernation mode. All right. Everything about his robotic body has entered like a state of immediate internal maintenance where all unnecessary systems have gone on. And it's now you think it's trying to internally repair itself. You don't know enough about what you're looking at. I will actually, this is a great thing to bring up to Langham.
Ooh, okay.
There have been, because you're a gnome, and there are a lot of gnomish tinkerers in the world, you've seen a lot of automatons. Automatons are a very common thing for gnomes to build. Rudy is not an automaton. Rudy is way too advanced for anything you've ever seen. All right. You understand that the basic make of an automaton is just a metal body with, that has moving limbs and everything, that has a series of layered spells to give it a like form of consciousness. But it doesn't have a soul. It's just a thing that they've layered a ton of spells in to give it a sort of personality and allow it to complete the task that it's designed to complete. From your understanding of that, there is a soul in this metal body, which is far beyond any sort of magic or technology that you know or are aware of.
Is that like kind of like a common knowledge for everybody that knows Rudy, or is this kind of like a discovery type?
This is well, this has never come up with anybody else. I'm gonna say this. I will say I don't think, like, obviously you wouldn't know that no one else knows.
Yeah.
Like Langham, because he hasn't asked anybody. But I will say, as the DM to you, Oscar, this has never been a conversation that's been had before about how the hell Rudy exists. They just know that he just popped out of the ground one day. He got dug up.
Alduin has never thought about it.
Yeah, has never thought about it. He's never once questioned. And you see that seems to be a common thing. And maybe that some of them is just like, in the case of like Alduin, maybe as a person who's of high religious order, maybe Alduin's like, a soul's a soul, doesn't really matter to me. And maybe for some people who could have been tinkerers, like Bombardier was, maybe this was a thing that's like, I can't think about this too long because it would give me a headache to try to figure out how you could even make this. So some people just avoided the question.
That makes sense. So I think what I'm going to do is, as I'm inspecting Rudy and I'm looking at him, Langham is trying to figure out like what kind of spells he has. Like it's like moving his arms, moving his body, and he's like,
yeah.
And I just turn back to Alduin and I go, Alduin, this is unlike anything I've ever seen. How did you guys meet Rudy?
To be fair, Langham, you went to community college. I think there's probably a lot of things you haven't seen.
Well, that's also very true, but I have also been around the block with a few automatons, and I can tell you for a fact that that is not what Rudy is.
I mean, I'll be honest. We kind of came around at the same time. I never really. I don't think I was around. Um, when I came into the town that everybody was at, they said that they found him in the forest whenever I was in town. So I never got to see where he was. I think from what I heard, they maybe dug him up somewhere.
I think Alduin would remember that like you did get there like the day after Rudy did. And Feth dug him up on the way to Moontown. Feth had said there was some sort of weird like light that shot out of the ground while he was on the road and dug something up, and that thing was Rudy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I only say Alduin because it doesn't really seem like there's a spell casting or anything that keeps Rudy moving. It seems like Rudy himself is actually like has soul. This is technology that is like way beyond anything that any living person should really be capable of, at least that I've heard of.
Does Alduin know anything about the Red Elves? Would he have talked about any of that with like Ms. Mathis or anything?
That's a very interesting point. I'm gonna say, you can either give me a history check.
Okay.
I'll let you roll that with advantage, or you could give me a
Oh, wow.
religion check straight. Okay, either one of those two things.
Religion?
Because religion would be you trying to talk to your god. History would be you trying to remember as an elf, trying to remember what you would know from other elves about the Red Elves,
Okay.
like what the knowledge would be. I don't know if I'll let you roll. The reason I will let you roll that with advantage is because you would know other elves. You're an elf. You've been around the block. You worship an elven goddess. You would know like you've also. Alduin's the oldest living, maybe outside of Rudy. You're the oldest living guy in the party. You've been around the block long enough to know, like, I know a few guys, but I don't know if you've ever had the wherewithal to think one day while you were praying to be like, "Hey, Ms. Memphis, Red Elves, what's up with that?" You know, like, what's up with that? Like, so
in classic D's nuts fashion,
I'll
look up, be like, "Yo, Miss Mathis, you got anything?" I'm going to use a luck point.
okay,
Miss Smith is on the line.
That's actually Miss Mathis calling me back. Yeah.
That was my wife trying to FaceTime me. I'm sorry.
You should FaceTime her in and have her.
Hey Kathleen, give me a religion check.
That is a 19.
Okay, 19 is pretty good. So what I will say on a 19 is I'll give you the religious context of the Red Elves, which the Red Elves did worship, in a sense, worshipped one of the elven gods. They worshipped Willammineth more than Nesmeth, is what you know about them. You also know that in comparison to most other elven cultures, the Red Elves didn't really worship much of anybody. Okay, they weren't big on the religious side of things. And there was a kind of a belief amongst them that like just doing like magic and tinkering and like trying to further magical understanding was a form of worship to a magic goddess, and that was kind of the argument they made to everybody. And you do know the history that like sometime 7,000 years ago they vanished, and no one knows where they went. They just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. And I think that's pretty much all you would know is that they weren't a very religious people, not in the way that like high elves and wood elves especially are very much like Mesmeth religious. These guys didn't have temples, like they didn't build coliseums or cathedrals or temples for their gods, which is a bizarre thing in a world where people know gods exist, like where it's a known fact that there's a higher power that might have made you. It's a really bizarre for you not to worship anybody. I think you would remember that. I think those are the facts you would get off the top.
Then I wouldn't go into like that much detail to
Langam? Yeah.
Langam.
If you guys probably just 2 seconds, real quick. I'm sorry, my baby
I think he's FaceTiming his wife.
Yeah, that's so real.
Give me like 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Yeah, of course. That's so real.
Imagine FaceTiming your wife and child.
Imagine being a father.
D&D.
Yeah. Imagine being a father, you know?
Me if it was me.
Me if it was me.
I'm not seeing that kid until
until the session's over. I'm saying that's tough. I mean,
yeah.
Is what it is.
Ray walks in the door. Like I'm throwing this at her, like I'm throwing the ball at her, like
You're like, if it was me, my son would have already rolled for damage. Okay, my son. Okay.
Amen.
If it were me, my 6-month-old would be playing. Okay.
Look, all I'm saying is, if it was me, then he would have had a deck save with disadvantage.
Exactly. You're right. Hey, you're correct. What we can do while Oscar's on his phone is we can jump over quick to the to Wendell's shop. Where he's waving. Just a little wave. Just a little wave. Just a little wave.
I didn't know.
Actually, give me 1 second. I gotta see if it's stretched. My leg has fallen asleep, and I don't understand why. Hold on.
That's tragic.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
this
Okay,
is
sorry
definitely-
guys.
okay.
I'm back. I'm gonna tell you how to roll to see how much of an absentee dad I was gonna be, and he rolled kind of bad, so I had to get off the call.
He rolled pretty high, so you're going to get milk.
Yeah, I'm gonna get milk.
Is a baby crying charisma or constitution?
Probably.
It's a constant. If it's your baby, it's Constitution. If it's someone else's baby, it's Charisma. Okay. All right. This is the rule. We'll jump over quick to the shop, where Ephesus. I believe you're the only guy in the shop right now, right? Other than only party member in the shop currently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the guy's
you
name?
see. One more time.
What's the guy's name that we left there, or that I'm
Gormesh.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah, you
right.
you were left with the Gormesh Club. Yeah.
Gormesh. I forgot about him.
You see that Detective Gormesh is pacing around the store, and he's like muttering to himself. And then he kind of just like stops mid walk and kind of like looks over, and he goes, "I'm sorry. I realize I have been kind of involved and very rudely haven't really introduced myself. I'm Gormesh. You are?"
I'm Ephesus. It's nice to meet you.
Ephesus. Good. It's good to meet you too. I'm sorry under the weird circumstances. Look, I'm a detective by trade.
Yes, sir.
And normally my partner Hauser is around for me to bounce ideas off of, sort of like a soundboard, so that way I can try to like put together a theory. And given the fact that he's not here, would you mind if I things at you and you just bounce it back to me? Maybe we can work some stuff out.
You got some coin?
I mean, maybe. You see that he starts patting himself down, looking to see if he's got anything on him.
I'm just messing with you, buddy. I flip him a good.
He goes, "Oh, thank you. Okay." You see he. What kind of gold? Do you flip him gold or a silver?
I got plenty of gold, so I'll flip him a gold coin. Sorry
Okay,
that we just brought you here and you have no clue what's going on.
You see, he slips the gold coin in like the top pocket of his jacket, and he goes, "It's all right. Given the whole situation, you've actually been very gracious to let me hang out in your shop. All right. So I understand that I'm a clone. Yes, that's been the general understanding so far.
I think so.
I'm a clone. There was a wizard who's apparently been around for a while, who's had multiple clones.
Mm-hmm.
So put that together. And if a clone becomes aware that they are a clone, he shows up and kills them? Question mark, or just takes them?
Well, he also takes them if they die too.
Okay, so if they just drop dead, they also can take it.
Yes, I've seen that one firsthand, actually.
Okay, all right.
Actually, there were two of them. He only took one. I don't know what the deal with that was.
Weird. Was there anything distinctively different about the other one?
Not really. I mean, he was just blue.
Okay.
I think he has scales.
That is distinctive. That is distinctively different. Blue and had scales. That's a problem for another time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the thing I'm not understanding, the point of egress for me in this current theory is why does he need to snatch them up if they become aware of themselves? What's the danger to him if if the Gormesh becomes aware that it is a clone of another guy. Like, if they were dead, I assume he could, like, take their body because he wouldn't be able to, like, discern. He wouldn't want other people to discern they're, like, a clone. Or possibly he wants them for some sort of, like, research purpose. But us just becoming aware that we're clones doesn't necessarily...
Sounds like he's hiding from something to me.
He kind of steps back and thinks about that. In my experience, now I've never seen this in person, but I understand that there are some necromancers who are capable of casting a spell called Clone that allows you to make a clone who goes and lives a life, and if you die, your consciousness is immediately uploaded to said clone upon your death. But I don't think that if the clone became aware, that affects the spell in any way. So if we're like a clone from the spell, us knowing we're a clone doesn't mean that the spell stops working. Like, it doesn't.
I mean, this is kind of above my pay grade here, I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe he wants you to have some sort of free will.
Interesting. Some sort of free will. Yes, I'll let me think on that. And you see he goes back to pacing, and you see about that time coming downstairs holding a platter of lemonades is Wendell, and he like comes downstairs and like, all right, okay, everyone, let's just, let's calm down. First of all, you're safe in here. He can't get inside the shop unless I let him in. Furthermore, you're not going to figure this all out in the next 20 minutes, so let's take a deep breath and enjoy a lemonade. And he hands you a lemonade, he hands Cormash a lemonade, he starts drinking a lemonade. It's the best lemonade you ever had. It is the best lemonade you ever. It is perfectly tart, but also perfect. Like, it's not too sweet. It's got the perfect amount of sugar in it.
Man, just like I remember.
And we jump back to the school
or something. I don't know.
Just like we jump back to the school where you guys are mid conversation. Alduin, you were saying that you remember the red elves.
Yeah. I don't go too in detail, but I'm like, long ago, even before my time, which I know to you might seem long, but I'm actually kind of young for elves. Just need to know that.
Right. I can tell.
But like, way before we were even thought about, there was a subspecies of elf, named red elves that were very, I'm kind of into God. They were kind of into like magic and making things. So
Yeah,
if you don't know anything about it,
it
could be something like that.
I don't remember what we talked about recently. Would I know something about these red elves?
Well, give me. I will either. You can decide. You can either give me a history check, or you can give me an investigation check to see that if during your time here at the school, if you've ever run across something that would let you know that sort of information.
All right, I'm gonna do a history. I got a +8 on that one, so I'm gonna roll a history check real quick. My slow motion die roll.
Slow motion die roll, new band name.
Oh yikes!
A 12. I think you've on a 12. A 12 is not like a nat one. I think on a 12 you've something along those, but it's very vague. It's not directly. What's it be?
Red elves.
At lunch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Use it at lunch?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Could you do me a huge salad? Could you bring me?
Yeah. It don't matter what flavor.
It doesn't matter what flavor. Thank you so much. That right there, that was the real MVP. That lady right there, she's the one. All right.
Zelda, bring me another Mike's. She's just laying on the floor.
Hey, have you ever seen the movie Shooter?
I have not.
In the movie Shooter, Mark Wahlberg has a dog that he taught to open the fridge and bring him a beer. And that's been my dream since I was 11 and saw this golden. Okay.
Very funny. But yeah, no, I'm gonna look at Alduin and I'm gonna go. I mean, The Red Elves. Yeah, I mean, I've heard about them, but it's just been a very brief. Like, I think I've seen it in a book. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought it's just what they called elves after they went to the beach. But I guess if it's an actual historical thing, I don't actually know much about it. But I would love. I'm very interested now.
Well,
and I'm still like trying to fix Rudy.
Yeah. From what you understand on that previous role, you think Rudy is doing internal maintenance and is just going to be offline for a little while until whatever is on the internals decides to fix itself.
I'm with you. So you guys know how like this is Lango. You guys know how like whenever people pass out, it's just kind of like a reset, and they'll come back to in a little while. That's essentially what's happening with Rudy, but he's too advanced to really know when that'll be. So I think he's going to be okay.
It's my brother. I will also say.
I am here. I am just filling out oodles and caboodles of paperwork. So
for your job?
Yes, for my job. So I'm listening.
For
I'm
benefits?
just filling out paperwork. Yes, for benefits and payroll and direct deposit and all of those things.
Yeah. Have been there.
Let's go.
Let me tell you.
That's what I'm working
Paperwork, not fun. Also, if they offer you bi-weekly pay, that's a scam. Get it weekly, okay?
Yeah, they don't offer that.
Bi-weekly pay.
Do not do bi-weekly pay, okay? All right.
This makes 1 week really sad.
Yeah, it just makes you struggle
You
for
get
1
paid
week.
and you're like, let's go.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm getting paid every week. No, I'm just filling out all of the stuff. Hey, actually, any Spanish speakers want to help me with this page? I'm just kidding. I already filled this out in the regular version, but in the American version, I should say. But anyone who wants to help me out with this,
Any Spanish speakers like,
I think me and Alduin canonically speak Spanish. Was that it? No, or was
Emphasis.
that? It was emphasis.
Oscar in real life and emphasis in games.
That's right.
That's
right.
Whatever you want to
So
do.
I'm here. I'm just
Okay.
working on paperwork.
No worries. Nate, actually, could you tell me
Yes.
just real quickly where in the city is Leo as of where?
He's gonna be crawling out of a bar.
Okay, okay.
Just absolutely plastered.
Okay, yeah. Roll me a con save, real quick. Let's roll me a con save.
I'm really torn up that one of our members died while he was in his prism.
Yeah.
So I'm just, I'm going through it right now.
He's just going through it. He's just not well.
Let's see. Let me roll that. I got a 9 on the die plus like 4, I think.
Plus 4, so a 13 only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You have disadvantage on range attacks and perception checks because you're so hungover.
That's right.
Because you're so all right. All right. Back to the school. I will say, you guys can do whatever you want. You have an unconscious robot that you might need to take account for, but also you're in a school with a library that takes up an entire very massive tower. If you wanted to try to figure out Red Elf stuff, I will let you use the resource available to you to try to go.
Oh my gosh, lit. Alduin, while we wait, do you want to maybe see if we can find out some more stuff? We might even figure out if Rudy has a Spanish button.
Also,
go to the library, don't you?
Is there anything that's pressing that Alduin has been trying to answer recently? Because I will say, big library, there is a whole section of religious books. So there's a lot of stuff where you can track down the history of things very easily.
I think because this is just an Ethan sidebar. Real quick. This is an Alduin. So Alduin doesn't really know anything about Theron.
Mm-hmm.
Does he even know Theron was like an acolyte of Bismuthus, basically? Like, does he know?
See, here's what I'm going to pitch to you. I will give you two options here.
Word.
All right. I will give you either he believes that his dad was a paladin of Bismuthus who passed away and he was left to the church, or he knows absolutely nothing. You can pick either one of those two. You'll have the very vaguest of information, or you'll have no information at all. But
I think I'm going to choose no information.
Okay,
and
so
I'm
you know
also
nothing.
I think as Alderman, I don't really know why Ms. Meth is kind of like picked me up.
You do know that, like, You were
Well, I
you
know, like I have
you
like
were
a sponsor basically.
yeah. You do and you do know that like you were because you said you like Aldo knows his mom, right? Like you know your mom very religious. Your mom was around the Mesmethus group a lot, so I think you grew up in an area where you were exposed to it very early. So that also kind of makes sense
Okay.
to you, um, but I don't think you would know anything about Theron.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I know I won't read anything about. I know I won't read anything about Theron in the books, but I do want to go and try to find out, like maybe, because really the only kind of mystery I have would be that girl that I saw in the clearing.
Yeah,
Um,
Whoa, what is
and
this?
I
I
know who
feel
that
like
is, but Alduin doesn't know who that is.
yeah, you know who that is, but Aldo has no idea.
So
is
I'm
this
going
from
to.
before time? I don't know if I know any of this.
I think this might have been a session you sat in on before you start playing with it.
Okay.
And they were traveling to the city. This is before they'd actually reached the city.
Hmm.
And they had stopped at a traveling tavern, which had very much a
Whoa,
house moving
yes,
castle
yes,
vibe.
yes.
Yes,
I remember.
and he prayed and saw off in the distance the figure of a woman who then vanished from sight
Wow.
randomly.
Okay.
But he
Okay. I'm with
doesn't
you.
know who that was. Um, and fun fact, Ethan didn't know who that was for the longest time, and
No, I
then
did.
one day asked me about it, and he was like, "Oh my god, wait a second."
That's crazy. I'm
That's
doing
cool.
my part to move that along.
Okay, I respect that. Yeah, okay,
Well,
so
so I guess could be like, so Alduin, the red elf stuff, is that more of a Mesmethus thing, or is that kind of just like a historical?
Well, I mean, it's not. They didn't even worship Mesmethus.
Okay.
Technically, they worshiped Willamennith, but they were kind of like a CEO, uh, Willamennith worshiper, like Elven Christmas, Elven Easter only.
Okay, I'm with
Um,
you.
um, but I mean, that would be more. They made significant advancements in technology and magic. There's got to be some records, especially at a place like this.
Okay. Well, let's make sure our friend Rudy here is in a safe space. And then can I turn to the what was the professor's name who was in here that cast the spell on Rudy?
his name was Gult Whitefrill.
Go Whitefrill. Hey, Prof Whitefrill, you think you could just kind of watch him for us for a little bit?
You see that you know 5 foot tall, like green lizard guy with a white frill on his head, and you literally turn. Is he going to move?
We sure
Well,
hope not.
eventually he will, but just when he comes to.
Okay, so he's
But
just going to be
it should be
unconscious
fine.
on the ground.
Yeah, I could just put him in that corner. I mean, you have some students that they're
Students,
also just sitting in the
you don't
corner.
you don't even have to move him. Students, step around, and he just leaves them there. He walks down to the middle of the
Okay.
room to start the next lecture. As you guys see, the teleporters in the room all start to light up as kids next class. Because you guys had this happen in between classes, so
Yeah. Okay.
now kids are starting to pour in for the more advanced evocation classes starting. And you see that like literally all the kids pile in. They start to sit down. You were in here before, and he was like explaining the use of lingual arcana on cantrips. And these kids sits down, and he immediately pulls up how to talk to God, and he just immediately like moves across the screen, and you're like,
While they're like we're walking out where they're doing that, I'm gonna look up at Lang and be like, I'm gonna be honest, it's really even not that difficult. Like I do it all the time.
I think also actually roll me either religion or arcana real quick. Both of you can roll it.
I'm gonna roll
Okay.
religion.
I'm gonna roll
That's a
Arcana.
25.
My die is rolling so
The
slow.
25, waiting for him to see.
And come on, Langum.
Come on,
And a
Lang.
27.
27.
I think you both recognize as you're walking out that this guy is the evocation professor and trying to communicate with any extraplanar. That's divination magic. This is the wrong school. He's already off to a hot start. He's teaching the wrong thing immediately. This is not the right thing.
I would
This
look
is
at
why you
Alduin.
don't have one professor for all your major classes.
This is okay.
I completely
Exactly.
agree, Alduin. Honestly, I'm gonna super with you. They'll hire anyone here. They didn't even notice I was gone.
Well, to be fair, you also said the security guard knew you, and that was a whole debacle in itself.
Well, that's also true. But, whatever. Let's go to the library. I know somebody there also.
Oh God.
Oh
God.
god.
Students go in the library.
To
So
non-students,
I'm gonna
any guest of because I think he gave you a visitor pass.
Okay.
Gave you a
Oh,
visitor's
yeah,
pass, so
okay,
you're
yeah,
allowed
yeah.
into the library. You actually see. I think as you guys head down the library, there's a lot of people who don't go to school who just make use of the massive resource that is
I guess that would make
the
sense.
Oxfams or library. It's the way that like people who live in Pittsburgh like can go to the cathedral or to the Citadel of Learning on Pittsburgh University and just go look at the shit because it's so big. It's like, well, everyone should have access to this giant resource. Like this
That makes
Are
sense.
there any
All
cute
right.
girls there? Alduin can sit beside.
roll
That is important.
roll straight luck. Just roll straight luck.
Don't roll
Just
gay
roll a
luck.
d20. No, you can roll gay luck if you wanted. I mean,
Ooh, Alduin, roll gay luck. Oof.
That's a 7.
it's a 7.
It's worth
There,
using.
here's the problem. Here's the problem. There are a ton of cute girls. They're all teenagers. It's all below board. It's all.
Steer and clear.
Can I roll? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, if you wanna, we got time. All right. You can...
No. I can't. Okay. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna look for my bird friend.
Your bird friend. I love this.
Yeah.
I love where you're going. You're looking for Cyril.
Yeah, Cyril.
Cyril, the head of the School of Scribes, who actually, I think Alan would know, Cyril isn't the school librarian. He's the head of the Scribes College. The school librarian, it's actually a game on campus to see if you can find him, because he's somewhere in the library.
Oh,
No one's just ever been able to
funny.
track him down, okay?
That's so good. I'm gonna your screen is still showing, so I don't know if you wanted to show that to everybody. But it was funny.
This is the lore document that you have, okay?
Oh, okay,
This is,
perfect.
yeah. I mean, I could close it, but like
No.
that's just the information you have, okay? Like,
I just want to let you know. In case there was something sensitive in there. But
buddy,
okay,
let me be clear. None of the sensitive information ever gets written down. It's all up here, okay? All right.
That's legitness. Okay, I'm gonna look at my bird friend. I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to the desk and I'm gonna be like, all right, I know, guy, hold on. Caw-caw! Caw-caw!
I just immediately don't like where this is going.
You just see the most exhausted looking eagle Erica just dive bomb out of a rafter. And you see that he gets dangerously close before pulling his wings up. Okay, you see that it's too close to the ground. He pulls his wings out, slows himself down, lands. Immediately upon landing, you see his like both his wings and shoulders immediately slouch, like it just kind of like, and he goes, "Hello, Langham. How are you?"
Hey, Cyril. I'm good. I have a question for you.
All right. Does it have to do with the Scribes College?
If I say no, are you gonna listen to me?
I will listen to you. I'll just be slightly more disappointed.
Oh, well, that's fine. Okay. In that case, Cyril, do you know where I could find any information about red elves?
Red elves. Oh, that's interesting. Here I'm gonna roll for him real quick. I'll let you know that as the head of the Scribes College, this guy has very high modifier. So
Okay.
yeah, okay. He got a 21. So he goes, yes, all right. The red elves. You see that he starts counting the rows of bookshelves. Then he goes, I believe you're looking for row 14, bookshelf E is the one that I know has the red elf information on it. I don't know where on the shelf it is, but I know it's on that shelf.
Row 14, section E. Okay. All right. Thanks, Cyril.
Essentially,
You got anything about Ms. Mantis as well?
oh, the religious section. Yeah, not a problem. And he says, row 1, section F. Essentially, what Cyril has done here with with telling you where this location is, and he's going to give you advantage on the investigation roll that you're about to make to try to learn any of this stuff. So, who would like to go first?
I feel like I've been talking for a little bit. You go ahead, Alduin.
Inform. Investigation. With advantage. That is a 16.
16, you immediately find the history of the Church of Mesmethus, Volume 1. All right. You see that next to it is a book that says History of Tournaments, which is not the next book in the volume. And you see that it just somewhere on the shelf, the books have been scattered about them back in the right place. But you find Volume 1. What information are you trying to discern specifically while you're looking into this? Are you trying to track anything, or do you just want me to start giving you the spiel? Because I can just go. But
Theron would be looking for some of the key figures in the church's history, I would say.
Sorry, I have a cookie. One moment.
Fair. That's fair.
My girlfriend just brought me in chocolate chip cookies and milk.
That's
Life is
you
good.
You did say you didn't care what flavored tea she brought you. So I guess you got milk.
Well, then she brought me a twisted tea also. I've got.
Okay.
We're good, Doc.
Don't
We're living.
you ever.
LIVEN. All right. Okay. So first thing, big name. You know this name already. Opening the book, you see Rexilius Dawnwaker,
That guy.
who was the biggest known prophet of Mesmethus in the past 1,000 years. You see that he after a tragedy befell the church, where the Temple of the Four Seasons, which were separate temples that were built to all represent separate seasons, all fell to a dark elven raid, essentially, and one of the temple's highest ranking clerics and members, a man by the name of Aegon Eversummer, who was a high elf, turned turncoat and actually started worshiping a demon lord instead of Mesmethus, and was part of the reason why you guys why the church kind of collapsed for a little bit, and the worship spread out pretty badly. And Rexilios was the guy who brought
Oh no, Reese froze.
This is tragic.
I was like,
now I'll never know what he brought.
It's probably that stick or something.
Yeah. He probably brought these.
He brought these two right here.
Well, I guess while Reese unfreezes, I'm gonna go use the bathroom and grab me another Mike's. I'll be RB.
Well,
Godspeed, brother.
I got a coffee.
boy.
I'll never get used to coffee. I never will.
Yeah, I tried it. I just can't do it, man. Tastes like boo-boo.
It tastes better than a Red Bull that isn't cold.
Oh, God, dude.
I'll tell you that. And that's why I'm going Monster. I'm going to quit going Red Bull. Because it's disgusting.
Oscar is a Monster lover.
The Ultra Strawberry Dreams goes absolutely insane sicko.
That's a good Oscar just likes the regular green? I don't understand that.
It don't hit.
It don't hit. Tastes like mothball.
It's gross. No, I like the white one. I like the Ultra Strawberry Dreams. That's really my two flavors right there. But I don't drink them very often.
Yeah.
But I think I have ADHD. Because they help. They actually help. And I'm able to focus. So I have to start.
Oh no, he's still gone?
Yeah, he actually just finally disconnected.
It helps because I've got 7 projects going on at once, and we're getting through them.
got 7 projects going on, Coleman?
We out here, blood.
Dang.
Doing our thing. There's 3 of us right now covering 17 counties. We are out here.
Wow.
There you go, man.
What is it that you're doing right now? Ethan told me, but I forgot. I'm sorry.
I'm a regional planner, so like city planner, but amplified. Because all of our local governments are like too poor to have planning, so we basically help them out. Now there's 12 regional commissions, so it's everywhere that it does, but ours is kind of easy because we don't have any like big cities. We have Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
We got Dublin.
Hey,
and
Dublin's
Badea
all right.
and Jessup. So
I know a guy who used to live in Jessup.
True. Believe it or not. Who does?
I'm about to do my own plan for them. Actually, that'll be cool.
Let's go.
That's pretty sick. So you're liking it?
Mhm.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, the planning director told me that if I wanted to go ahead and be the planning director, I could. Basically, I said I don't want to yet.
That's fair.
I would
That's fair.
pass.
She's got a master's degree, so I was like, I don't have that yet. I'm not there.
I'm very much like, I don't really want more responsibility. I'm cool. I'm cool with where
I
I'm
was like,
at.
I've been here for 4 months. That's it, 4 months.
What happened to Reese?
Internet died.
His
I think.
Wi-Fi went out. Isn't he
Word.
resetting it right now?
But I'm the only one from this region, so like, I have the best perspective, basically.
Makes
So
sense.
that's why they kind of. That's why I got hired quick.
Well, that's cool, man. How long? You said you've been with them for 4 months now?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I got my own office and everything.
Nice. Ethan just has to share an office.
True. Sometimes that leads to
Sometimes we
arguments.
all grow up. That's what I told Greg the other day at Subway. I saw him. He's like, because I was dressed up. I don't even know why I was dressed up. I think I just didn't have any other clothes. So I put on.
Well, because
some,
you were
like,
going to
action-
Subway.
You're right. You're right. Gotta
True.
dress up for my people. But he was there, and he was wearing khakis and like a polo, and I usually wear like khakis and a polo. He said, "You're so dressed up." He said, "I'm still a child" or something like that. And I was like, "No, I promise you, I'm not. This is a fluke. I just ran out of clothes."
And this is it. I would have turned my phone around and been like, I'm literally playing Fate Grand Order.
Oscar's in that sauce for real.
I am in that sauce, man. I have a very when I like something, I get into it hard, and then like especially if other people like also like it, I get like really into it. And so like with Ethan and Fate and Reese, and then the whole like Fate one shot thing, like it's really just like I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a shot, and now I'm like in it.
Out there.
As
But-
Nate Crazy would say, he's in there like swimwear.
Very true.
You were so right. I would say
There's
that.
my guy right there. Look at him.
I am back.
Reese!
He's back.
I literally have a guy coming to look at that fucking router on Friday because I know it's that. I know that's what's wrong. Okay,
Amen.
literally,
Can he stop by Ethan's house?
he could. Hey,
Please.
I'll get him on the
Send him
way.
home.
Okay, literally, last night I was trying to watch you guys play Premiere. Okay,
Let's go.
internet goes out. I still have Wi-Fi connection, but no internet connection to the Wi-Fi. All right, a Wi-Fi signal going out, nothing connecting to Wi-Fi signal. All right, I called him. I'm like, hey, what's going on with this? Lady was very nice on the phone. She was like, let me try to reset it from here. Hits the reset button. She's like, anything happened? I was like, nope. She goes, we will have to send somebody out there. I was like, that sounds right. Yeah. She was like, that sounds correct. She goes, you all got an opening on Friday? And I was like, I'll make an opening on Friday. Like, you better get somebody over here, okay?
If it'll get my internet fixed, I do.
I'll quit my job to be here on Friday.
I'll quit my job to be here. I'll take PTO for 1 hour to be here. Okay. All right. Back to what I'm saying. Last thing you heard me say was Rexelios, and then the whole thing shut off.
He brought. We heard that Rex Celios brought after the Ever Summer guy.
Okay. Brought the followers of Methmethus back together and constructed the first Cathedral of Seasons, which is one large temple dedicated to all 4 seasons instead of there being 4 separate places. He built one massive temple where everybody could come to worship each individual aspect if there were people who worshipped different aspects of the goddess, which is a common practice for like farmers come and worship like the spring aspect a lot more than like a lumberjack does. Like a lumberjack in the fall when like he would be okay to start downing trees. That's where the lumberjack thrives, man. So that's where he's going to start praying. He will go to the cathedral for that and pray for that time. Since then, since the passing of Rex Helios Dawnwaker, the church has not had a saint since. All right. There's a lot of high priestesses. There's a lot of very powerful clerics and paladins. But there hasn't been a so-called saint of Methmethus since then, and you understand that in this context, a saint of a god in Alharia is someone who is in active communication with their god. There's been a lot of people who can communicate with her and like through prayer will get words, but like Rex could just like talk to Methmethus on a regular. Like he just had the ability just to be like, we're just conversating. Like I'm just talking to a higher being and like doing her will into the world. You also see there was actually a period of time where there was kind of a split in the church. And this is where I bring in what Ethan's one shot was gonna be. Before we decided not to run a one shot for Ethan. There was a split in the church while Rex Helios was in charge for a while, where a group of high elves and wood elves came together in an attempt to try to essentially kill Rex and get him out of the church because they didn't like that Methmethus' saint was a dragonborn.
Wow.
There was a big point of egress where like your god, like you're not even the child of our god, like you're not even one of her creations. You were created by a completely separate being. And in that, there was like a big split where some people were like, Methmethus can choose whoever she wants to be her saint, and there was a lot of.
Oh no.
He's gone.
Clearly
again.
jealous and prejudiced
He's
elf
back.
who it rose against him. I'm not. I was like, I wasn't gone. My shit's. You guys are still moving.
You were
Don't
gone.
bother me.
For a
Oh, you were
second,
gone
you
for
came
a
back.
little while.
Where there was just like obvious like prejudice and jealousy towards Rex that ultimately resulted in like essentially a civil war within the church where straight up battles were fought over it, and Rex had to unfortunately kill a lot of elves. Like he had to take down a bunch of high elves who tried to essentially kill him and force him out of the church. And since he passed, there hasn't been a saint, and because of that like incident specifically, nobody wants to try to like even try to get to that position. People are afraid of the status. Because you also read that there have been people who have been able to more frequently, not on the level that Rex Helios was capable. There was people who've been able to more frequently communicate with Methmethus than others. You read about there was a Lady Gwendolen who is actually still living druid back on Azurborough who was able to she communicated in a strange way that like wasn't your typical prayer. She had a way of like using her druidic powers to essentially pull on the goddess's influence to affect like the world around her. You know that in the and Alduin would know this because Alduin's probably like at least talk to people who have been there, but there is a forest called Felithavar that is the forest of the first elves, and due to the magic of Lady Gwendolen, it has never not been in spring there. It's always consistently like having spring. They even though like the harshest winters the world's ever had, that forest is always in a springtime state. So there's like people like that, but there have not been a saint of Methmethus since then. I think that's the big thing you take away from this.
Okay.
That's incredible.
I'm also roll. I'm trying to think. This is going to be interesting, but roll a religion check real quick for me.
That is a 24.
Wow.
A 24. I think you finished reading your book, right? You get the information you want out of it, close book, go to put it back on the shelf. When you put it back on the shelf, the book next to it falls down, all right? Book next to it hits the ground open, and you see history of tournaments. You see around 300 something years ago, there was a really big tournament that happened in a human nation that no longer exists, and a follower of Mesmethus won that tournament. But there's no name recorded in the record.
That's cool.
That's that.
That
We'll
is-
jump over to Langham, who is what is Langham roll on his investigation check? And remember you roll with advantage because of Cyril giving you pretty precise instructions on where to look.
Alright. Oh, I don't know how you make it roll with advantage.
You just
Oh,
roll
roll
it twice and take the
Oh,
higher.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that Ethan said advantage,
You
and I was
can
like, I don't
right
know how he did
click.
that.
You can right click on your modifier, and then it'll
Uh-huh.
say roll with.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
Or if you're like me, a real gangster, you pick 2 d20 off your desk and you roll them at the
Just like-
same time.
So I actually have like all of my like different dice, but
Incredible.
I don't. But since we're playing, like I don't want to I don't know. I want to have what's it called?
You don't want me to think you're cheating? It's okay. You can say that. It's all right.
No, it's not. But I want to have
That's why I
what's the
roll on
word?
D&D Beyond.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like doing that. I don't want. It's not that I think you could think I'm cheating. It's just that I want to have some kind of I don't know, whatever. Honestly,
Like a balance system. You want someone to know?
Yeah, exactly.
I got you.
System. So I rolled a 22.
Roll 22. 22 is very good.
Mhm.
22 is above a certain DC that was required. Ethan rolled a 16. Ethan
Oh
did good here.
wow!
22. You're walking down the ship. You're walking down
I'm walking down the shit.
to get to your shelves. You're just going. You're hitting the road. You're heading that way.
Mhm.
You pass one row. And you see in the middle of the floor, sleeping. It's a giant curled up raccoon. All right, wearing a bathrobe.
Oh.
You know that this is Ash of the Cypress, the librarian of the school.
Oh my god! I found him.
like,
Dang it.
Let's go.
which was DC 20 to find, and a scroll full of wizards. None of them were able to track this guy down.
This game's
I-
dumb.
I'm gonna look at him, and I'm literally gonna look at him, and I'm gonna go to myself like, "Let's go, Langham."
and keep on walking.
I want to walk up to him, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey," and I'm just gonna like kind of tap him on the shoulder. Hey, what's his name?
Ash.
Ash. Ash.
The requisite powers of God!
God, okay.
Oh,
Ash, you good?
gosh.
Hey man,
Okay.
you okay?
Oh, Langham. Oh, Langham. It's so good to see you.
Ash,
How
no
long
one
have I
has
been
seen
asleep?
you in weeks.
Yep, that checks out. Yeah, that checks out. Yeah.
What you up to, man? You okay?
I was. You see that books are everywhere on the ground over here, and he goes, "Yeah, I was doing a bit of research. Did you know that during the divine age of Alharia, when gods live amongst their creations, there were actually 2 different mortal creations of one of the gods who killed their god and then assumed their role?"
Whoa, I did not know that, Ash. That's pretty crazy.
Yes, I learned that Memoredos, the god of justice, didn't exist until after the age of the divine, where apparently he killed another god and then became a god of justice after killing him. Not totally sure how
How
that
that
works.
works? Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
I feel like I need to talk to a cleric about that. I don't know the religious context of godhood in that position, but apparently it is possible to slay gods and become gods. So that is something very interesting. And I was reading on that for roughly 36 straight hours, and then I took a nap, and I don't remember how long I've been here.
Well, at least a week for sure. Make sure. Hey, Ash, I got a quick question for you. But after I ask you that, make sure to go get you some food, bud. You haven't eaten in a while.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's probably not true. I eat in my sleep.
Whoa, how do you do that? Can I
I-
check to see on my person if I have like a snack or something for him?
Yeah. I would say you probably. Actually, here's what we'll do: roll a
Okay.
d20, just a straight d20. We're gonna have a snack. We're gonna see how good of a snack
How
you've got
good a
on you.
snack it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
how good of a snack you have on you.
Mm. 10.
A 10, medium. You have a honey bun
Okay,
in
sure.
your pocket.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That you pull out. You hand him a little honey bun.
Sorry if it's a little flat, Ash, but here, man, enjoy some of this.
You see that he immediately, raccoon style, takes it in both hands like this, and it's gone. It's just he is eating this.
Lingo's thinking, that's perfect. That's really what I wanted to see. I wanted to see him raccoon eat it.
He eats it, and then he goes, "That was delightful. I do feel a bit thirsty. I'll work on that. If you see Cyril, don't tell him you've seen me. All right?
Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
I
And you
will.
see that he starts slinking through the shelves, doing his best not to be noticed by Cyril. Just
Hey, Ash, real quick though, before you sneak away too far, as how about I help you out with cereal? You help me out, maybe find some information I'm looking for in this library.
he goes, "Oh, information." And you see that he leans on one of the bookshelves. He goes, "Well, you've come to the right place. What you looking for?"
So, I have recently been brought onto the topic of red elves, and it's
Oh,
something that I would love to learn about. Oh, yes,
the
familiar?
Elias there. Yes, I know all about this. Follow me. And you see that he immediately takes off to the exact bookshelf that Cyril pointed you to. Um,
Okay.
and I think Ash has worked here for a long time. All right, he's
Yeah,
definitely been here the
yeah.
entire time Langham's worked here. I think Langham probably figured out in his first week or two of work that Ash has a mental map of the entire library and knows where everything is.
Sick. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh no.
I cut out
Oh,
again. Internet is not with us
you're
today,
back.
You're
kids.
back.
There it is. Cool. Yep. I literally it froze and I said, "Here we go again." He's not with us today, kids. It's not happening. All right. But you he you just know that Ash knows this place like the back of his
Right, the
hand.
back of his hand.
Like to the point that you see as he's walking and he's just like moving, that he grabs a book off of a shelf and then as he's walking, puts it on the right shelf and throws that book that was in its place to the shelf he just passed. Just like he knows where things are supposed to be and where they go.
That's crazy. Can I? Okay, so I'm still laying.
Yeah,
I'm a little sneaky sometimes.
yeah.
Can I, when I'm walking behind him, use like main handed to swap them back to how they were wrong?
Roll a stealth check or sleight of
Okay.
hand, either or.
So this slow motion roll is go. Let's go.
A 22 is very good.
22.
Okay, this 22 is
There you
very
go.
good. I'm gonna roll on Matt Hogg. I'm gonna roll in front of the board. I'm gonna roll a d20. I'm gonna tell you what he adds to this. Okay, on perception checks in his library, Ash that's a plus 12.
100%
Okay, all right. So I'm just gonna roll this in front of the board. 7 plus 12.
Let's go.
Hey, that's pretty damn good. All right. So you swap the books back. He does not see it, and he keeps on keeping on. Okay. All right. You see that he arrives. Row 14, section E, pulls out a book that says Red Elf Technologies, what we know and what we don't.
Whoa. Okay.
And he goes, now, I have a great many books on the Red Elves, or Eliastair as they're called in some circles. I don't know why. Because I'm pretty sure Eliastair is just the elven word for red elves, and it's not even the elves that call them that. So some people are just being pretentious. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
he goes, and he hands you the book, and he goes, now, this great starter package if you're trying to learn about the technologies the red elves worked on. we don't really have a book in here on their histories, mostly because all of their records vanished with them. We don't really know where they disappeared. We have I have some books in here that are accounts from other cultures who had accounts of the Red Elves and could tell us a bit about like what their culture was like and who they most often aligned themselves with in conflict situations. But what we do know is we have an extensive knowledge of the technologies they left behind to the world, which is what I can give you in that book.
That's perfect, Ash. Do you mind if I take this book with me?
And he goes, absolutely not. Don't mind at all. You know how the library works. If the book is not returned in 2 weeks' time, it will magically teleport to the shelf.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
that sounds good.
all right. Remember, you
Wait.
have 2 weeks.
Ash, question though. Then how are all these books jumbled around? After 2 weeks, wouldn't they all just go back to their correct location?
See, that's the fun part. The books that have moved, it's me messing with Cyril. I can move them. Okay. All right.
Ash, that's awesome. I want to high five him.
He gives you a high five. He goes,
Yeah.
I've been fucking with Cyril for 2 months. Okay. All right.
Wait, Ash, are you the lost student that got allegedly lost through this?
Am I? And you see that he casts alter self and turns himself into an elven boy. And he turns and goes,
Okay, and then this time I'm gonna like dab up. I'm gonna grab his arm and like bring him in. Let's go, Ash.
Ash is a Katumi. He's a raccoon folk. And I think you would know raccoon folk and gnomes get along very well because they're both very mischievous. Okay, they are very
That's
mischievous
awesome.
people. And he goes, now, once again, if you see Cyril and you see he looks up to see, and there's a shadow of wings that pass overhead, he immediately hugs on one of the shelves as it flies by, and he goes, don't say a word. And he vanishes. You see that he actually moves 2 books sideways. A portal opens up in one of the shelves, and he dives in and vanishes into a bookshelf.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't know, like Ash is my favorite coworker.
Upon him jumping in there, back on the other side of the library, Alduin, you see a raccoon hand reach out on the bottom of a bookshelf, grab the book that just fell off, snatch it back in, and then it reappears on the top, and it's gone.
Hey, no, wait.
It's still, the book is up there, but the raccoon hand is gone. The book is just back on the shelf.
I never knew. I would never find that page again.
All right, do we have anything else we want to do while we're here, or are we moving out of the university?
I think we're gonna go probably check back up on our boy Rudy.
All right, well, you're going to head back to your boy Rudy.
Just to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, love that. Well, you're going to check back on your boy Rudy. We're going to jump back over to Wendell's shop, where I think at this point, little brother, if you're busy, no worries. But if you aren't busy, I think at this point, you are muted, just so you know. I think at this point, you've probably made it back to Wendell's shop because I think you know that's just where everybody is. Or at least that's the last place you knew they were.
You're still muted, Goat.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I said, I think at this point in your hungover stupor, Leo has made it back to Wendell's shop because that's just the last place he knew everybody was.
Yeah.
And upon entering Wendell's shop, Leo is confronted by the ghost of his dead contract maker. Gormesh is just standing in there.
Sure.
And you see that he's pacing around the room, and he turns to you, he goes, "Oh, hello, pardon me." And he thinks you're a customer, and he just kind of moves out of the way and try to let you in.
Sure.
I'm sitting on the bar.
Keep going.
He looks exactly like the dead Gormesh that you buried back in Moontown.
Sure.
This is the most bizarre thing you've ever seen.
I'm gonna guess that he is a figment of my imagination, and I'm still drunk.
Okay, all right. That's so
So
real.
I'm gonna be like, buddy, I'm so sorry I failed you.
He
I'm
goes,
so sorry.
"So, are you all right?" Emphasis. You just see Leo start to
I've
break
lost
down.
so many friends, and you were the first. And I'll never forget my first.
You see that Gormesh looks terrified. He's like, "Sir, are you all right? Are you
Oh, little
unwell?"
Meshy, you were so sweet. Dumb as a brick bat, but you were so sweet.
He
Mr.
goes,
Leo, you all right, brother?
I'm just gonna turn slowly. Oh my God, you're dead too! How many people died while I was getting drunk? I'm
Wow.
so sorry. Am I the only one left? Oh God.
Do I have my gun on me still? Do I have some blanks I can?
Roll a luck check to see if you have blanks.
15.
You have blanks, weirdly enough, as it turns out. In a world where you would never need blanks, you have them. Okay.
I pull out my revolver. You know what? I am dead. And now you are too.
Oh my God, the dead are shooting at us. I'm
You
gonna
see-
take cover.
You see that the gun, you see he pulls the trigger, hammer hits, no sound comes out of the gun. And then you hear Wendell from behind you kind of go, "What did I say about firing guns in my shop?"
It's a blank. Come on, man.
Wendell, how did you die? You can't die. You're immortal.
He goes, "All right. First of all, I'm not dead. Second of all, you need a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit because you are very drunk.
Well,
All
you
right.
passing those around.
Are you drunk?
I can get that way. For a bacon, egg, and cheese
All right.
biscuit.
Gourmesh, do you want one too?" And you
I'm
see that Gourmesh goes,
I'm just gonna be
"I could eat."
completely, totally confused because all the people who I think are dead are talking about bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. I'm gonna be like, oh, "You're dead. You don't need food. You live. You're not alive anymore. Only the alive need to eat."
You see
Oh
that
my God,
Wendell goes,
am I
"That's
dead?
right. You're right. Only the life need to eat."
Oh
And you
my
see
God.
he walks upstairs.
Am I dead?
He starts cooking.
Oh God.
Roll an intelligence saving throw with disadvantage. Roll it.
You are, and you don't need that arm anymore, so I guess I can take it off your hands. If you get what I'm saying.
Ugh.
I was imagining there's like a little
So far
raccoon
back in my
coming
chair.
out grabbing a biscuit.
I got a 14.
A 14.
Yeah.
I think you think Wendell isn't dead. You're sure that Gormesh is,
Okay.
and you're pretty sure Ephesus is.
Okay.
Okay, you're pretty sure Ephesus is. But after about 10 minutes, Wendell comes down with a platter of bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits, and he hands you one. He hands one to Gormesh, and he hands one to Ephesus. And he goes, "All right, okay, everyone's fine. Just eat that up. It'll help you sober up. You'll be all right." He sits the plate down.
I'll just start molding into that thing as I eat it. Oh,
you
oh.
Bro,
Just
you need a
chomp
room.
it
There's
down.
some upstairs.
immediately, upon eating this, you immediately lose your disadvantage. It immediately goes away. It's the best bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit you've ever had. Okay, it's so good.
So
Okay.
good.
Okay, it's just like the biscuit is so buttery and it like crumbles in your mouth. It's like the bacon is all crispy. It's
Void
perfect.
bacon right there.
At this moment, you guys hear the door ring as a person enters the shop. And you guys see Gormesh walk in, and he goes, "Am I interrupting something?"
Gormish.
I'm just eating.
You see that Detective Gormesh just freezes. You see that he just locks up. And you see holding a staff with a large G on top of it. A slightly older looking, but not that much older looking Gormesh turns to him and he goes, "You need to come with me now."
I take my gun out and I said, he ain't going nowhere with you, Mr. Wizard guy.
You pull your gun out You see that he turns and immediately is going to cast a spell at you.
Okay.
You see a bolt of green fire from his fingertips. I need you to make a dexterity saving.
This is not great for me, I'll tell you that much. That's a 15 again, plus 4, 19.
19. 19's pretty good. Okay, so hold on.
We've been getting some good rolls this session.
I have been getting some good rolls.
I rolled 2 15, that's all I got. 15 average.
15 average.
Pretty good average.
Two up averaging they 15.
You beat his spell save, and so you dive out of the way as a bead flies by you. This just like small little line of green light flies by you. You see that it hits a bowl on a shelf behind you, and the bowl turns to ash as he tried to cast a 6th level disintegrate on you.
I wasn't gonna shoot you. I was just gonna
And
talk to
then-
you for a second.
And then you see that before you can start talking again, he tries to go to cast another spell, and as it leaves his fingers, it just vanishes out of thin air.
Wendell.
And Wendell goes, I have known a great many foolish and arrogant wizards, but I can only think of 3 ever stupid enough
That is
Oh,
such a
no.
shame. That is
to
such
find
a
out the
shame.
spell in my
He's
We
back.
got to hear the rest. We got to hear
He
the
said,
rest.
he said, I've known a great many foolish and arrogant wizards, and I can think of only 3 ever stupid enough to shoot spells off in my shop.
You just screwed
Um,
up, buddy. You just screwed up.
And you see that Gorbesh looks up, sees Wendell standing on the banister, looking down over the shop, and he goes, my apologies. And he goes, I've come to take what is mine. And he
That ain't
gestures Gormesh. And Detective Gormesh goes, I don't think I'm anyone's property. I'm not sure that's the case. And Wendell goes, young Mr. Detective, would you like to go with him? And he goes, not necessarily. And he goes, that's that. Goodbye. And he snaps his fingers and space collapses and Gormesh is out of the shop.
But you're glad you came with us now.
Did it again. Damn.
I came back.
And he goes, and you see that Gormesh, what the hell was that?
Why are you
You see
freaking
that-
out? I almost got disintegrated. Straight up.
And he goes, he wasn't going to disintegrate you. It wouldn't have made it to you.
You let it get pretty close, man. I'll be honest.
Ugh. You're always so nervous for a man who always claims to be so downstairs.
I don't
He
even have
goes-
any blank. I've only got blanks in this thing.
He goes, it's all right. It's all right. He can't come back into the shop now. He's made an honest mistake, but he can't get back in. So as long as you're in here, he can no longer re-enter. That being said, I'm not totally sure this shop is accommodating to live the rest of your life in. So maybe you want to start doing something on that front, possibly. Leo? I would like to talk to you privately if I can.
Please don't leave me
yeah.
alone with this guy again.
He goes, oh, did you just follow me on upstairs?
Wendell, do you have a headache cure?
I actually do. Hold on. And you see that he walks behind a counter and he pulls out a scroll of lesser restoration and just casts lesser restoration on you and
Right.
cures you of all
Let's go.
of your hangover symptoms. Just
Oh, that
falls
feels
on the
so much
ground.
better.
He goes, if you'd be so kind as to follow me upstairs.
Yep.
You 3. The 3 of you who aren't Leo. Could you guys deafen for a second? And I'll give you a thumbs up when
Oh, sure.
the conversation is over.
Let me not be. Oh God, I'm such a boomer. How do I deafen?
I lost my mouse.
Am I deafen?
Not yet. Oh shoot! I didn't think about entertaining the audience. How's everybody going tonight? I'm just hanging out. Here's some music for you to pass the time, I guess. You probably don't want to hear this, but that's too bad. Hold on.
Once in a while, please promise me you'll try. Then you'll find that once again you long to take your heart back and be free. If you ever find a moment, spare a thought for me. We never said our love was evergreen or as unchanging as the sea. But if you can still remember, stop and think of me. Think of
We're
I
good?
will message him.
We're good.
Sweet.
I'm back.
We're all good?
Yes,
We're
sir.
good. You know, I was really thinking and hoping that Nana would be back at this point because it'd be the perfect time to wake up Rudy.
That's what I was.
Okay,
I was
so
like,
wait.
wow, that's perfect timing. I'm kind of a lightweight, guys. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of feeling some effects from my Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Hey,
To be
that's
fair, it's
okay.
Yo.
That's okay.
I'm also a lightweight.
I'm not a lightweight. I don't think I wouldn't go as far as to say it depends on what I'm drinking. It depends on what I'm drinking if anything's going to have an effect on me. Because like these twisted teas, nothing. I could crush 20 of these, would feel nothing.
Yeah.
Like nothing would happen. A couple of glasses of bourbon, and suddenly I will feel very warm on the inside. All right.
If he is at a party with Michaela and he's drinking her beer and his own because she doesn't like what she opens,
That will catch
also-
up with me fast.
He'll catch up
To be
him.
fair, that was a volume problem.
I was gonna say, I know. I'm just saying. Again, that's why I said if you're drinking for two,
Oh man,
it catches
we
up.
went to a place in Cincinnati. It was it's like a German restaurant, and they have like their own like draft beer and stuff that they make. It's really good. I'm not
Yeah.
normally a beer person, but like I had it, and they serve it in either half liters or full liters.
Yeah, that's so German.
So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I'll have a liter of it. And so I drank a liter of it, and I was like, wow, that shit was so good.
Yeah.
But I drank it way faster than everybody else. Everybody else who had a half liter was
Yeah.
halfway through the drink when I finished my liter. And
Yeah.
then
Incredible.
I was feeling it a little bit, and I was just like, oh man, you know how cool it would be if I order another liter?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'll have another liter. And then I drank that liter, and that was a mistake. All this happens when my wife's not around.
Yeah.
She left me alone for too long. and then
Too long.
it went crazy. It was funny.
See, we were
I
at
said he's not gonna be able to join. By the way,
okay, that's no worries. We were at Ethan's wedding shower, which you were also at, and we had to go to dinner like midway through the party. And we were only there for like an hour, and I think in that hour's time I had 8 drinks, and then went to dinner with my parents. And
Because
then I
that's
went-
because Reese didn't want to be rude. Michaela's like popping something open and trying it and being like, I don't like that. Just giving it to Reese. And then Reese being not rude is like, I'll just drink it.
Oh man.
So he's just downing all of the stuff she doesn't like.
while also throwing back as many free Corona limes as I could get my because that's what I'm about. If there's a free Corona lime within 20 feet of me, I'm gonna have it. All right,
Yeah.
Let's be clear. That's the
I think
game
what
plan.
gets me are the frozen mango margaritas, man.
Those things actually are
Frozen mango
incredible.
margaritas. I am just like, I get in there. I get in trouble too. We were at a restaurant. It was somebody's, not even somebody we were with, just some random person in the restaurant's birthday, and the people went back there to be like, wish him happy birthday or whatever. And it was a Mexican restaurant. So naturally, I felt like I was, in my own environment. So I like Mexican yell really loud, and Kathleen immediately turns around to me, puts her hand on my shoulder, and goes, "Stop."
Yeah.
Shut you down immediately.
You were like, aye.
Super shut me down. I was like, "Yes, ma'am."
Shut that shit down so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was like, "Dang, Kathleen, in front of my friends." Okay.
Not in front of my friends. Don't do that to
I
me like
know.
that.
Ah, tragic.
Not in front of my people. Also, like, how dare you? Okay.
In my own place, a Mexican restaurant
In my
where I
own
belong.
I think I drank 8 drinks and then we went to dinner with my parents at a Mexican restaurant actually, and I was a little drunk at the dinner, and we came back to that party, and then I took a shot of whiskey out of Ethan's gift that I brought him. Okay, I brought him a bottle of wild turkey honey, and I shot that shit back and went right back to the party. Okay,
Oh, he sobered up so fast once he ate at the Mexican
I did.
restaurant.
Yeah, I will sober up quick if you
Okay.
put food in my body.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Especially if that food is a burrito. Let me be clear.
Oh wow!
All right,
The absorption rate of the
the
burrito
absorption
is
rate of a
surprising.
burrito is life changing. All right.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you guys want to go to a
For-
Mexican restaurant?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
do.
We're there.
Yes.
I think. I'm gonna be real.
That's where we end it?
I think that's where we end it. I think that's where I call it tonight.
Yeah.
I think that's where I call it tonight. We played for an hour and a half. I there's some stuff I need to touch with Nono before we can actually get out of that university, unless you guys just want to haul his unconscious body down the stairs, which we can roleplay that. Hopefully next session we get everyone back together, because running split party stuff, I feel like I leave somebody out. Every single time that we do it, I feel like I'm leaving somebody
For
out.
sure.
You did an extremely good job of making sure we all had something to do during this session.
Yeah. You did.
For sure. I think bouncing back and forth was a good like movement. I was entertained.
I gave Ethan some lore stuff that was great. I gave the tournament book, the tournament records. I gave Oscar a hilarious NPC to run off of.
Yes.
Oscar complimented my NPCs, and then I was like, you know what? This is what you're gonna get. Okay, all right, let me clear. Emphasis got to almost die, and then
He was just gonna disintegrate me like, oh god.
you should be pulling guns on a very angry ancient. Okay, you
I thought I
shouldn't be
was
doing-
safe.
Pulling the gun there was crazy.
He was like, to be fair though, he wouldn't have actually hit you with a disintegrate. If you had failed to save, Wendell would have stopped the spell midair. I mean, because he doesn't have to counterspell Wendell. He has an ability where if he's in his domain, he could just simply send that spell to where spells don't exist. You know, there's a place in time where magic. Yeah, essentially domain expansion, where he's like, "Hey, I represent the end of time, and you know what's at the end of time? Nothing. And that includes magic, and I can just shut that off real quick." All right. I had to deafen to talk to Nate about some
True.
sneaky stuff because I can't tell you guys what's happening there.
That's right.
Very excited for me.
Puppy.
Nono's gonna be so
Puppy.
upset that he missed the session. Like, he's,
Yeah.
Hey, I have a big brown version of that puppy here.
Oh, that's
Brown
cute.
guy?
Yeah.
also
Sometimes this
Tintin,
one's brown. It just depends on how long she's been outside.
my king. How do you feel about the 7 o'clock start time? Because I'm thinking if we get off, like the plan is to always end it at 9. Do you think Ray will be happier that it's not 10 o'clock at night when you're getting off? That was my ultimate goal. It's like maybe we can make Ray happier a little bit at least, just by cutting it off earlier.
That's a really good thing that I started a new job.
Yeah.
Because I'm home at 5:30 now. Shout out.
Yay.
Heck yeah.
Shout out. That's awesome.
What time do you
That's
have to be there?
awesome.
8.
That's
Just
good.
working the 8 to 5. Let's
That's
go.
right.
It's an
me.
hour lunch. I wish.
Yep, I get an hour lunch.
That's legit. In back, so you
Ethan,
can go to
we
like the 3 fast food restaurants.
That's right. I had Subway today. And then I
Oh,
sat in my
did you?
car for 30 minutes. Yeah, we both had Subway today, and we
I didn't
dodged
have
each other.
Subway today. That was Friday, but you could have told
Oh.
me. I work right by
So-
Subway.
You do. I saw your car.
I was just there, you know. Could have caught me out of work.
Sorry.
I got an hour lunch.
Ethan's
too.
supposed to take an
Okay,
lunch,
I'll
right?
take
Hey, yo,
you this
no,
week.
Nick, you
Just
should
kidding.
pick up sandwiches and go sit in Coleman's office
True,
and
you
have lunch,
should.
and have lunch with
True.
the guy.
You're right.
If
'Cause
I
I
live close enough to you guys to just show up at your place of business at lunchtime, trust me, I would.
I literally
Okay?
ate. Well, I didn't really know because I've never eaten. Like, I don't know how traffic is in Baxley. I don't know, how fast I can get around. I know how I could do that in Hazelhurst, but I didn't know here. So, like, I went straight there, ordered my food, ate it, got back to work, and I had like 25 minutes to just wait. So I took a nap in my car.
That's the way.
That's legit.
I
I
took a
literally
sandwich
said-
nap, bruh.
I literally said to Michaela, Nate has an hour lunch. Bro should be taking naps.
Dude, I literally took a 20-minute nap in my car today. Closed my
I
eyes
used to do that as well.
and then open them. Yeah, it's
Back
great.
when Ethan had to drive an hour and a half to work every day.
That's right.
You needed that nap. You
That's
earned
crazy,
that
man.
nap.
I would
Okay.
take my nap at lunch. I'd have my YouTube video up on the console.
Yep.
I was living, man.
He was living. That's incredible.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
They get you a gaming laptop. Come to
True.
my office.
True.
We get our Valorant practice in.
Heck yeah, we got our Valorant practice in
I
at
got
lunchtime.
232.
He runs a
monitors.
Swift at lunchtime and goes back to work.
Ethan taught us about Crunker. So we play Crunker on occasion.
That's right.
We
In the
do
office.
play some Crunker every night. We've been known to.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we've been known
That's-
to.
Hilarious.
I know that as soon as I touch my bed that's over there, it's going to be freezing cold and I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, you look tired. To be fair, first
Dude.
day.
Yeah.
Dude, not just first day, I'm also kind of sick a little bit.
I can tell that you sound a
You
little
do sound
stuffed up.
sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
running through being sick and also starting a new schedule at the same time, and it's whipping my tail right now. Also,
Sorry, goat.
I filled out all this paperwork in 40 minutes, and let me tell you, it was a nightmare.
And there.
But it's
Oh.
okay, because I'm here. Rise up.
Completely off topic. Yesterday, I tried to make spiced wine or mulled wine, okay, which I did successfully. But while doing so, in the recipe to make mulled wine, you're supposed to add like a shot of brandy or bourbon to it. I did not measure and poured way too much bourbon into that, and then had some very strong cups of spiced wine.
Nice.
Nice.
Let me tell you, I slept so good.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Let's go.
slept incredible. Okay,
Let's go.
Heck yeah.
I'm
Bourbon
asleep.
just makes me do one of two things. It makes me either have to take a dump immediately,
Mm.
or it makes me really tired. And it was making me really tired today.
it'd be like that.
For sure.
It works really
Oh,
like
Reese, I've been listening to a lot of NADPOD. I'm like real far now.
I have influenced the community. Okay,
Yes, I am like past like where Hard One like returns to go meet Gerard and stuff. Wow. Reese just like froze like at the end of an 80s movie.
Yeah, he did.
He's got that moist critical pose
Hey,
for real.
hey, hey, hey!
four of the 5 people in this chat.
Forget
Listen,
about
forget
me.
about me. I'll be alone, dancing. 4 out of the 5 people in this chat have listened to NADPOD, and that's because of me. I have influenced the community. This is what this is. Okay.
It was so funny. You literally froze, and then it like tried to catch back up, and you like were dancing. And
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so cool. But yeah, man, I'm like past all the stuff with Gemma, and it was pretty crazy.
Are you So where are you at exactly? Where are they?
They have already like they're looking for the hunters